It's an incredible statistic. Each year, nearly 200,000 people in this country are told they have lung cancer, and more than 90,000 people die from this disease. Smoking causes between 80 and 90% of these cases, and yet people still smoke. People who are mentors, friends, and parents. Bob Woodruff and I lost a friend and a mentor 5 years ago when Peter Jennings died of lung cancer. Bob Woodruff is here now, and you've been speaking to Peter's daughter, Lizzie.
Yeah, she is terrific. It's really hard to believe it's been since 2005 since we lost Peter. It's still very difficult for her to talk about this. You know, we did want to talk. My mother still hasn't given up smoking, but she wanted to. She wants to do this so she can keep people from doing this as well. But I have to say that still, after all this time, it is still difficult for her to do this without tears. Do you remember that day when you found out?
Yeah, I could tell there was something wrong right away. There was something in his voice. His voice always gave him away. He said, well, it turns out that I have cancer, which takes your breath away when you hear it. And he said, but we're going to fight this.
As some of you now know, I have learned in the last couple of days that I have lung cancer.
I remember thinking how brave he was to go on and say what he did, and the way that he did it. And he relayed that story as he had hundreds of other stories, which was, you know, professionally, but with so much humanity as well. I loved that about him.
That was really the first time that he talked about his smoking and this cancer.
Yeah, he did. He, talked about how he had been a smoker when he was younger, but had quit. And I have funny memories of being a kid and trying to steal his cigarettes to destroy them.
Oh, I did that with my mother.
Yeah, so yeah, throw them in the garbage, hide the lighters. In fact, I even remember there were ABC lighters. And I thought, this as a kid, this was a very bad influence.
Yeah, we don't make those anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Peter Jennings has died tonight of lung cancer.
And at the end, we were all in bed together. We had a wonderful team of nurses as well, and we were at home, and we were all in bed together. And
you all fit in one bed?
Yes, it was. Thank God they had a big enough bed for all of us. But yeah, we were all there under the covers together, sort of, the way you are with your parents when you're a little kid, and you crawl into bed together on a Sunday morning. Yeah, right up until the last minute.
What's it like to not have your father anymore?
Well, the obvious answer is that it's very difficult. And I sometimes always think that, well, maybe he'll walk through the door. Or it's, there are times when you really need a dad's advice. And so, we have this dialogue inside and in my head, and he's still there in a lot of ways.
Given the fact that your father was so well known, do you think that people really woke up about lung cancer because of that?
We get stories every once in a while from friends of friends or complete strangers about how they've quit smoking because of Dad, or how they finally became aware of the possibility that if they smoked, they might also get lung cancer because of him. And, it's whether you have the right to put your family through that. I think people don't always think about it in that respect.
The caregivers.
Sorry. Yeah. Because it's not just the people who get sick and who may or may not die, but it is the people you leave behind.
Were you angry at him for smoking?
No, I wasn't. I don't know if I should have been or not, but I wasn't. It would have been hard to be angry at him for anything at that point. Except for, dying.
He would actually call you on the phone during commercials?
Yeah.
And even at 6:29 before the show is about to go on?
Mm-hmm. Always at the last minute, too. I'm not sure if that was sort of that became part of the routine, but I would call right before and say, anything, just hi, I love you, oh, gotta go, and then hang up the phone immediately. And I'm like, oh, okay. ABC still feels like family. The people that he worked with still feel like family, you still feel like family. So
I can be your brother?
maybe a godfather.
I can't be Peter's son?
No, I think you missed that window. Sorry, Bob.
And you should also know that Lizzie is now working in Haiti for the United Nations, so she can actually help those that are suffering through there in Haiti as well. You know, she is clearly very much like a journalist, like her father.
He would be very proud, there's no question. It's really, you said this before, it's hard to believe it's been more than 5 years. I have such a crisp memory of the day he died speaking to you, because our offices were right next to each other. And I think you'd agree, Peter Jennings is really still with us in many ways at ABC News.
He absolutely is. It was shocking then, but now,
still
5
sad.
years ago, yeah.
Bob Woodruff, thank you. And you can read a special remembrance of Peter by his son, Christopher, on our website, abcnews.com/GMA.